reports have surfaced that because of the border closing between the United States and Canada, that the Raptors may have to find a new home. New Jersey, the former home of the Nets, and Kansas City, you have to be old enough for this one, the former home of the Kings, have been considered. So tell me what's going on with the possibility of you guys playing your games this year in the United States.
Yeah, I think it's possible. We certainly want to play here in Toronto, but the government's locked down things pretty tight here. Obviously, you guys know the Blue Jays played in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Our soccer team, Toronto FC, played in Hartford. So we're trying to make sure we can play here in Toronto, but we've got to make alternate plans B and C just in case we're not allowed to.
Coach, there's been some pushback from some players about the start date that's being proposed by Adam Silver on December 22nd, about players not getting enough rest. Do you think that's too early of a start date?
I do not. I think I got to remember right, but I think we had about 4 months off already this year. Can't we? So I think we get 4 and another 2. I think that's 6. That's a lot of rest for one calendar year.
Coach, we're
ready to go. We're ready to go.
Coach, what have the conversations been like with some of your players and executives about the possibility of starting on the 22nd or before in December?
Well, we think that it's a realistic possibility, and we're trying to make plans that is the date. I mean, if things get pushed back, we can always adjust things, but we're planning on 22nd, the ball going up. So that means training camp's going to be early December, and we're trying to make those plans to get going for that.
Real quick, Coach, before this fellas jump in, I want to give you just a quick note of context. When you guys won the championship, obviously you won it pre-pandemic, there was 131 days between the day you and Kawhi hoisted it until the time you opened the next season. The Lakers, in this scenario, if we start in and around December 22nd, Coach, they'll have just 72 days off. So I just want to kind of mention that's almost half as much time. Key, Jay?
Coach, you've obviously coached all the way around the world. Is there any defining moment that you've had within your coaching career that's ultimately led you to this moment? And if so, what would it be?
Well, Jay, I think probably once I came back from being over in Europe for a long time and getting in the D League and winning that first championship with the Iowa Energy in Des Moines, Iowa, I thought, okay, maybe we're getting close to getting a call up to the NBA, and doing it at that level, in front of a lot of NBA people, I thought maybe that was probably a defining moment. I mean, listen, if I don't have that Iowa Energy job, I don't think I'm sitting where I am right now. That's the one that catapulted me probably to the NBA.
Nick Nurse, Raptors head coach, joining us here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. His new book, Rapture, 15 teams, 4 countries, 1 NBA championship, and how to find a way to win damn near anywhere. What a great title. Beat my title, that's for sure. I love it. I got to grab this book and read up on it because I'm sure there's some great experiences I could take from you being all over the world and winning. How was that, though, when you know that you got to move from basically city to city, country to country to coach something that you love?
Well, it's tough. I think the toughest thing about it is every season ended, and you always wondered where you were going to be next year. There was no multi-year deals getting signed or any of those kind of things. You were heck in some of those jobs. I think in the job I had in Belgium, I was wondering where I was going to be week to week. It was like you got to win this game this Saturday, or you're packing your stuff up several times during that season. So that just the uncertainty of it was difficult. But man, looking back, I loved all those jobs. At that time in my life, they meant the world to me, and I was just trying to get better at my craft and win.
What was it like, though, being able to just taste all the different cuisines from different places? I mean, like that had to be great.
It was great. It was probably the reason I stayed over there a little longer than I thought. I originally went over there to just get a year of head coaching experience back in '95, and ended up staying 10, 11 years after that. And the travel is what like you just mentioned, just being able to go to all those countries so accessible. We played games in one season I was coaching, we played a game in 15 different countries, so
Wow.
that's when you're young, you're 20, your 20s, early 30s, and you're traveling around Europe coaching basketball. It's pretty fun.
Coach, let's get back into your roster for 1 second. Obviously, you have the Brooklyn Nets who are coming into this season with Kevin Durant and Kyrie. Milwaukee will still be there with Giannis. Miami, obviously, getting to the World Championship. What do you guys need to do to continue to bolster your way to the top of the Eastern Conference to get back to winning a world title?
Yeah, I mean, Jay, first of all, our team fits together really good, right? And they prove they can win a lot of games and prove they can pretty much duke it out with everybody. So keeping most of our core together is the first key. And then just like everybody else, we need to add kind of the next best available players, and I always say that through the middle of the lineup, I think we've got the point guards and the bigs figured out, but you can never have too many wing players, and that's probably where I'd like to see us bolster the lineup a little bit with some depth.
Nick, speaking of wing players, Pascal Siakam, a lot of people were saying that he was ready to carry the torch after Kawhi went to L.A. There were some struggles in the bubble. Now, a lot of different things happened with that. Do you think this year he is ready to become that player that we expect him to be?
Well, he was really firing on all cylinders, going into March 11th. I mean, he was really playing well and continuing to trend up, closing games, fourth quarter, clutch shots, all those things. And then the pandemic hits and the layoff, it set him back for whatever reason. The layoff and the bubble, he wasn't quite the same player. I really believe in him. He's a fantastic person, fantastic worker, has a great just set up, he knows what being a pro is.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.